The old woman didn't hear the laughter, but she felt it. It started as a quiet afternoon outside a small roadside diner, the kind where locals in rural Canada stopped for hot coffee and familiar faces. She sat alone on a weathered bench, her hands trembling slightly as she held a paper cup that had already gone cold. Her name was Margaret, and though the world had grown silent to her years ago, she had learned to read lips, to feel vibrations, to sense when something wasn't right. That's why she knew the boys standing a few feet away weren't just talking, they were mocking her. 3 teenagers, phones in hand, whispering, snickering. One of them exaggerated his mouth movements, pretending to talk in a cruel imitation of sign language. Another zoomed in on her face, capturing every tear that slowly slipped down her wrinkled cheeks. She didn't understand their words, but she understood their cruelty. Margaret had only stepped inside the diner minutes earlier, hoping to warm up. But when she tried to order, the young cashier grew impatient. The line behind her grew longer. People sighed. Someone muttered something she couldn't hear, but the expression said it all. Embarrassed and overwhelmed, she left before even getting her meal. Now she sat outside, humiliated, hungry, and alone. A passing truck rumbled by, its vibration faintly echoing through the bench. Margaret clutched her coat tighter, blinking away tears. She hadn't always been this fragile. Once, she was a schoolteacher. Once, she had a husband who learned sign language, just to talk to her after she lost her hearing. Once, she had a life full of voices she could still remember, even if she couldn't hear them anymore. But today, all she felt was invisible. One of the boys stepped closer, holding his phone inches from her face now. His lips formed exaggerated words, clearly meant to provoke. "Can you even hear me?" He mouthed, laughing. Margaret turned her face away, her shoulders curling inward. She didn't respond. She didn't fight back. She simply endured. And that's when the ground began to tremble. At first, it was faint, just a low, distant vibration. Margaret felt it through her feet before she saw anything. The boys paused, confused, glancing down the road. Then came the sound, loud engines, dozens of them, growing closer. A line of motorcycles turned the corner, their chrome gleaming under the afternoon sun. Leather jackets, heavy boots, powerful machines. The bikers rode in formation, slow and deliberate, until they pulled into the diner parking lot like a storm rolling in. The boys exchanged uneasy looks. One of them quickly lowered his phone. The lead biker stepped off his motorcycle. He was a large man, grey beard, worn gloves, and a face that had seen more life than most. But his eyes softened the moment they landed on Margaret. He didn't say a word. Instead, he walked up to her slowly, crouched down to her level, and gently tapped his chest to get her attention. "Em,